Hello, my name's Paul Tallett, and I'm here to talk about Modern File Explorer. I'm going to talk a little bit about beginner stuff and advanced things, and I'm also going to talk about some of the restrictions that Metro apps have that you may not be aware of. So just to talk through those. First up, before we start, if you're having trouble with the application or you have some questions, please do email me. It's pretty frustrating when people put questions in the review system because obviously I can't answer in the review system or describe bugs that I know fixes for or whatever. So please do send me an email. There's a link on the settings screen to send me a link. And also, if you're having trouble, the first protocol should be just try uninstalling and reinstalling the application. That resets Windows and everything, all the settings and things. So that's a really good way of getting going. Okay, so first off, here's Modern File Explorer, as you would see it when you first start. And I've got touch points turned on, so here you can see where I'm actually touching on the screen. I'm actually using a Samsung Series 7 Slate, which has touch, but you can also use a mouse and keyboard with Touch File Explorer. It's just as easy. So if I just click on music, or I'm going to use touch, I'm going to tap on music. Here we've got a music album, and I can scroll by panning left and right with my finger, and with the mouse I use the scroll bar at the bottom. And Windows 8 has this paradigm where if you want to select something, you swipe in the opposite direction to the pan. So this is panning horizontally, so I swipe vertically and I can select. So there I've selected a few things. With the mouse, it would be right click like that, and then right click to deselect again. So very easy to select multiple items, and then I can do something like copy, and I can go to a folder. So let's go to, say, the pictures folder, and I'm going to create a new folder. So we'll call this demo, and that's created me a new folder called demo. I'll go into demo, and now I can also use keyboard keys, so Control V, or I could have just brought up the bar here and hit paste, and that would have pasted those files in. So that's a quick way of doing copy and paste, and I can copy files from one place to another. If I want to actually move files, then what I do is, so let's move these two files. So I'm going to cut them, and again we'll create a folder, just call it new folder, and we'll go into there. And now because I've cut them, when I come to paste them, they actually do move, and 11 and 14 are now no longer in this folder. So obviously if they were big files, then moving is a lot more efficient than cutting and copying and pasting and deleting. So I don't know if you noticed, but just a moment ago when I was selecting, I was having a little bit of trouble selecting. Sometimes they don't select so easily. That's because there's also drag and drop enabled in Touch File Explorer by Modern File Explorer by default. So if I drag something across there, I can drop it on there, and Modern File Explorer says, do you want to move the folder? I'm not going to move the file. I'm not going to say yes, so I'll just say no. And that would have moved it into that folder. Now, as I say, on Windows 8, sometimes I've noticed that it is a little bit hard to select things. So what I did was I put a setting into the settings menu. So to get settings, you swipe from the right hand side, and you click on settings, or with the mouse you go into the top corner and just point at the top corner. And then if we go into preferences, then you see here I've got drag and drop files to move. So I can disable drag and drop files to move, and that makes files much easier to select. Now, it depends whether you want drag and drop or you want the easy select. That's your choice. If you're going to use a mouse, then it's probably easiest to leave that enabled. And here also I can turn on double tap, so that rather than single tapping a file, I have to double tap it, so that if you want to launch a file, you don't accidentally launch things. And also the delete behavior, by default it deletes to the recycle bin, but again I can set that to permanent, and it'll delete permanently without going back via the recycle bin. So now I've just turned off drag and drop. So if we look now, when I select, it's much easier to select the files by swiping in the opposite direction um, to the pan. So now if I deselect all those files and just select one of them, then I can go into properties, and here you see all the properties of the file, and I can click on read only, and I can change the read only properties on those files. Now if you notice here on the bottom, the commands are grouped into a section on the left, which are all contextual, which operate on the files selected, and a set of commands on the right, like new folder, new file, things that are global and you know, operate throughout the whole application. So that's a Windows 8 standard to put context on the left and globe on the right. So now I've got this pop-up with the properties. So just to dismiss that, I just click anywhere, tap anywhere, or click anywhere outside of it, and it'll disappear. So if you click on an item or tap on an item in the tree, then it'll collapse again, and you get a bit more space to work. Once it's selected, you tap again and it disappears. So we've also got SkyDrive here as well. This is a new feature. So if we click on SkyDrive, this is the contents of my SkyDrive in the cloud, and again I can drill down into my SkyDrive, and I can click on things. So one thing that you might notice is there's no launching of exe files. So if I try and launch an exe file, it says Windows Store apps are not allowed to launch exe files. This is a Microsoft restriction with all Windows Store apps, and that's true. Microsoft doesn't allow modern applications, Windows Store applications, to launch exe files. Nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. We have to live with that. So that's SkyDrive support, fairly straightforward. I can copy files, download them to my local hard drives, copy and paste. So again, literally I can just say, so let's pick something else. Let's pick something like my picture, and I can say all the commands are available, so I could rename them, look at properties, and I can copy that and pop down to my pictures folder and paste that into there, and that'll now download the file. So it's now downloading my picture.png and putting it in my local folder. And obviously I can upload as well and move files, so cut and paste works as well. So that's SkyDrive support. What you might want to do is, here you see with the default set of folders, we've just got music, pictures, videos, and SkyDrive. What if I want my C drive? So here what I would do is Windows Store applications can't access your C drive normally. So you have to go through a Windows dialog to grant permission to the application to give them access to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say add a favorite, and here we get a list of drives on this machine. So I've got my C drive, my D drive, my F drive, and my network drive. Now if you notice, the choose folder button isn't enabled. Now I found that a little bit confusing when I first saw Windows 8. You do get used to it fairly quickly. What you've actually got to do is you've got to drill into the disk and then click choose folder in order to select your C drive. And now it's giving it a name down here, and we give it a name of local disk. So there's my C drive, and again I can I've got a folder here with some test data in, and here I can just again select files, copy and drag them, and upload them to SkyDrive. Do whatever you like. So that was local disk. Obviously I can do the same for a USB drive. If I go up again, this removable disk was actually a USB drive. So you do actually have to add the USB drives. They're not added automatically. You have to add them as a favorite. And again, here it's saying removable disk. And now again, I've got all the power to be able to copy and cut and paste the removable disk. So network drives, a few people have had trouble finding how to add a network drive without mapping it as a drive letter. Again, this is Windows 8 standard, so again you get used to it fairly quickly. But if you go into the add add favorite dialog, you see this little chevron at the top here where I can click on. Well, it has at the bottom this network option, and if I click on network, then I can just start typing a name of a machine, and if I type ptel MCE and hit D, then that should connect to my media center in the other room. So there's my media center, so I can connect to the drive. I'm going to call it MCE so we can see what it is. It's not the local D drive. So now I've got all my files on the remote machine there, and I can open up the pictures folder, and there's all the pictures from that machine. So really powerful to be able to add network drives without having to map them. Now if you notice at the top here we've got this breadcrumb, so up the top that's telling us where we are. Now you can actually click that, so if you want to go further up the tree you simply click higher up. It's a really nice feature that you can click and navigate higher up. So let's go back to the demo folder just so that I can show you another couple of features, but again, you know, there's that there's the breadcrumb across the top. You can actually pin a folder, so I can click pin and pin that to the start screen, and that'll create me a tile on the start screen, and when I click that, that's going to launch me back into this folder, and I don't have to navigate and find it. So now some of you have requested this feature that you know, that don't particularly like orange, so you want your own colors. So if we just select a folder, again swiping from the right, I can go into settings, and I can go into appearance, and in appearance I can change lots of things. I can change, for example, the icons to tiles, and we get this nice tile view with the different files and the sizes and the dates and things like that. I can sort them by name or by size or by date or whatever. Now if you notice, it takes a little bit longer to sort by certain things. I think date and name are quite fast, but sorting by the other properties is a bit slower. So for that reason, I don't save your preference. So I do save whether you want tiles or icons, but I don't save whether you want to sort by size or ascending. I keep resetting that back to name ascending, just to keep everything nice and fast. So that's sorting. Yeah, so again, I can sort descending size, and now it'll just wait a little sec while it sorts by so the largest first. Someone else has just brought this to my attention is that in these folders that we're listing, any files.url files are not actually shown. So again, that's something in the Windows Store Apps API, that they don't list URL files, and they also don't list hidden files. So that's the same for all Windows Store Apps. That's part of the API. You can't get around that. That's just a restriction placed on Windows Store Apps by Microsoft. So that was the theme. Sorry, that was the tiles and the sort of understanding. And I can also change the theme. So I can switch over to blue or green or yellow, and you get these lovely dark themes that are so popular with the users. And I can also set the background to something else, so these backgrounds can get a bit overpowering. So here I've allowed you to change the transparency just to bring the picture down a bit. And if you don't want a background at all, you just click again and it'll deselect. And if you want to add your own background, you simply hit plus. That'll go up to your documents file folder and or any folder, and you can pick a PNG file for your own background. And again, some people have sent me some really nice screenshots. Thanks for that. That's really great to see what people are doing in their customization of Modern File Explorer. So another feature is Snap View. So this is really powerful and shouldn't be underestimated. Um, Here, if we've got an image, for example, we can just simply click on the image and it launches the image on the desktop. So there's the image. Oh, I'm actually launching in Paint. It's a shame, but you see the image getting launched. And let's change that for a second. So we can change what the default that's used for launching. Quite simply, we just click down and we say Open With, and then we say let's use photos. Now I have noticed a little bit of a strangeness. If you have JPEG files that won't open, it's probably because you've got Internet Explorer set as the default for JPEG files. And there seems to be a problem that once you've set Internet Explorer as the default, you can't change it and it won't let you open it. It just denies access to it. That's again Windows Store. APIs that you just can't launch a file if it's trying to use Internet Explorer. Again, I think that's a security feature to stop you launching local content and things like that. So yeah, just go to Desktop Explorer, change the default to something else, and then it's fine again. You can launch them from here, but it can be a bit confusing. So I've improved the error messages there to try and help people figure out what's going on with that. So again, let's go back to the snap view just to show that. And if we just go in here, we can click on a file, and it brings it up in the viewer on the right hand side. So that that works kind of as a viewer. People are asking me for a picture viewer, but I kind of think that that's a pretty nice picture viewer. But I'm always listening to feedback. So there's some pictures, and this is great for music as well. You can just have it on the side, just keep playing music and videos and stuff like that. It's a really nice feature. And again, I can navigate and go up to the top and see all my folders and see all my drives, all my favorites. So that's Snap View. You can also share. So if you have a drive here, and we're going to demo here, I can select, say, this image, and I can select share, and I can email that to somebody. Just launch up my email and send it to somebody. I won't actually send that. You see, it's attaching the message, the image to the message, but I'm not going to send that. Now, when that's a SkyDrive image, it does just send a link, obviously, not the whole image. So if I go into SkyDrive again and go into demo, and then pick some file, say that PowerPoint file, and then hit share, and then go into, so this clipboard's a really nice little app. Just copies the link, so you can then, so if I launch a text file, that's going to launch. Oh, it's going to download because of course it's in SkyDrive, so it's taking a little bit longer. But now I'm in Notepad, and if I paste, I've now that the clipboard app has put that in the desktop clipboard, which is a really nice little feature. So that's just about all I can say about that. One nice feature is search. Very powerful search facility. So if I go back into demo, now to get search, obviously you can swipe from the right, you can hit search, and I can now type in here, say just put CA in there or something like that, and it searches, and there's the result. But a nicer way, again, one of my users suggested this, and I really like the idea, is I can just literally start typing, and I can just put just type KO, and it brings up the search bar and immediately, and I can search for KO, which is really nice. Okay, that's just about all. And again, if you've got any problems, do email me. If you've got any suggestions, just send me an email. There's a link. If we go into settings, you'll see there's a link to my email box, email author. You can click on there, and it'll launch a mail client, your default mail client, with a message to send you send me mail. Okay, that's That's Modern File Explorer. Thank you very much.